So I see two main challenges here. The first is that for programs, say in the programs that we might have at universities like Cornell or other universities in the US and other developed nations, eh, training in computing and computer science and AI and related fields tends to be focused on technical training. And of course that's important. That is a core of what the field is, and that it is important to make sure that our students walk away having the techniques that they need to succeed as researchers or as practitioners of AI. But training on the ethical dimensions and the societal dimensions has lagged compared to the technical training. And so over the past couple of years, I've heard of many universities that are actively working towards addressing this. Cornell is certainly one of them. Harvard is another one where Professor Barbara Gross has been one of the spearheaders for including ethical training within the classroom, within different classes in AI. So I think a lot of institutions are thinking creatively about how to include ethical training and understanding the societal implications within the classroom, so that we're not just turning out students who are very good at the technical aspect, but also understand that their tools, the tools that they put out, are going to interact with the world, and that they need to be aware of that as well. So that's one aspect that I think is very important. The second aspect is this issue of access to education. Not everyone has access to the training that you might be able to get at a place like Cornell or other universities, and and that's a problem, and it's especially a big problem because it's not just a random sample of people who are not getting access to this education. It's groups of people that have been historically discriminated against and have historically lacked access to other opportunities and resources that are also not getting access to this training that I think is going to be very central to how technological advances evolve. And so I think that is something that we also need to worry about, that not everyone is getting access to the type of training that we would like them to get. And I think that is holding back the evolution of the field itself. I think if you're not including all people who might have creative ideas for how to approach problems and what problems we should work on, then the field itself will be lagging behind than it would have otherwise. And so that's the second part of the training. And there are a lot of initiatives that are also aimed at addressing this. I mentioned to you the AI master's program in machine intelligence. That's one initiative. There are a lot of universities that are in African nations that are recruiting a lot of great faculty, and they're trying to mitigate some of this gap. There are so Google AI opened an office in Ghana, so that I think might potentially be very helpful. IBM has a lot of offices I think it has an office in Kenya and South Africa, and maybe other places in Africa. So I think that could also be potentially very helpful. So there are some initiatives, but I think there's a long way to go before we sort of equalize access to good training in education.